That's huge savings just for scheduling early. But do it fast. This $59 heating system check special ends soon. Visit McCarthyHomeservices.com.
Good morning, America. Ice emergency. Temperatures plunging from Texas to Maryland. Cars coated across Indiana. This commuter train stuck going up a frozen track in Chicago. Roads now a sheet of ice. Widespread power outages and schools closing this morning. 15 states on alert as the new storm moves in.
FBI Director James Comey now under investigation. The Justice Department looking into how he handled that Hillary Clinton email investigation as President-elect Trump's cabinet nominees break ranks with him over Russia, torture, and a lot more exactly 1 week from Inauguration Day.
Flight emergency.
Experiments are for the flight attendants.
3 flight attendants sick after mysterious white powder appears on board a jetliner. Could it be from de-icing? 1 person taken away on a stretcher. Emergency crews and hazmat on the scene.
And the big goodbye. President Obama surprising Joe Biden.
I am pleased to award our nation's highest civilian honor, the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Thanking him for his service with one of the country's top honors. The moment bringing the vice president to tears as their bromance comes to an end. And the touching letter from the Bush daughters to Sasha and Malia Obama about life after the White House.
Live in Times Square, this is GMA with Robin Roberts, George Stephanopoulos, and Michael Strahan.
And good morning, America. Be careful out there this Friday morning, Friday the 13th.
My favorite day.
So far, so good?
Yeah, so far, so good.
It's Ginger's birthday. How bad?
That's right,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's right.
And how good is it for Joe Biden? Love the expression on his face yesterday when he learned about that Medal of Freedom.
It was a surprise. The president surprised the VP with that Medal of Freedom. You could tell he wasn't expecting it at all. That was quite a moment. We're going to have much more on that, as well as the Trump transition just ahead. Just 1 week from today until the inauguration.
A lot to talk about it. The president-elect is up early this morning talking about it all. I think his first tweet was a little before 6. He's sent out 8 since then, commenting on every big story of the day. We're going to get into all of them.
But before we get into that, we're going to go to our birthday girl, and she's going to tell us about that ice storm that's threatening 15 states already.
I did not order this for my birthday. I promise you that, because this is really not a great situation. This was from Chicago, the South Shore Line. This passenger train got stuck going up a hill because of the ice. Already, this is kind of a precursor for the actual storm. This was the ice glaze in Munster, Indiana that coated the roads and the power lines, and that's what we're about to see in parts of the plains. It's actually already happening this morning. We have ice storm warnings from parts of Illinois back through the panhandle of Texas, Wichita, Topeka, right through Kansas City. You could see up to an inch of ice by the time the weekend is over. So the timing goes like this. It already started this morning. We get rounds of it as we go through the weekend, all the way through Sunday, where that low sits over New Mexico. And this is what we reveal, up to an inch, you guys. One other thing, the drought, it got a lot better, and a lot of it has to do with this. You see these images that were coming out. That's a ski lift. They had to shut down the ski resort. So much snow, which is great. And I'm going to give you numbers on how good the drought's looking right now.
One way to end a drought.
Yeah, right.
Thank you, Ginger. We're going to move on now to new scrutiny for FBI Director James Comey, with the Inspector General of the Justice Department announcing a review of how Comey handled the Hillary Clinton email investigation during last year's election. Our senior justice correspondent Pierre Thomas in Washington with the details. Good morning, Pierre.
Good morning, George. It's extremely rare for an FBI director to have his judgment questioned and investigated in this manner. The Inspector General is looking at a series of actions Comey took in the final stretch of the campaign. It issued that Comey adhered to the Justice Department policies and traditions when he notified Congress that he was reigniting the Clinton email probe just 11 days before the election, and then announcing that he was closing the case just 48 hours before Election Day. And was it appropriate for Comey to hold a press conference to announce that charges should not be filed against Clinton, but harshly criticizing her in the process, calling her extremely careless in the handling of classified information? But Comey has said he only had bad options in a situation where there was unique public interest that called for transparency, George.
Unique public interest, a lot of raw feelings still, Pierre. You know, of course, Hillary Clinton and her team believe that James Comey cost her the election. They're welcoming this investigation. Donald Trump tweeting about it this morning, though. He's still taking exception to the FBI's decision not to take action against her. He's calling Hillary Clinton guilty as hell. So what is James Comey saying about this review?
Well, he's welcoming the review, saying that he believes in transparency and that he will be vindicated. Basically, this is a case, George, where Comey believes he was damned if he did and damned if he didn't, that this was a situation where there was no winning for him.
Right, but he said the decision not to indict was not even a close call.
Not even a close call. He believes that the law was on his side in terms of not bringing charges, but clearly the decision to announce these things in the way he did is causing all kinds of criticism on Capitol Hill and other places.
Pierre Thomas, thanks very much.
All right, George, now to the latest on those confirmation hearings. Two of Donald Trump's nominees, General James Mattis and Representative Mike Pompeo, openly disagreeing with Trump's earlier statements on key issues, including Russia. Our congressional correspondent, Mary Bruce, has more. She's on Capitol Hill for us this morning. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, Robin. Just 1 week from now, Donald Trump will be sworn in right here as the 45th president. But this morning, it's clear he is not in lockstep with members of his own would-be cabinet. And now there are concerns from within his own party that the new administration could be sending mixed messages. As Trump gets ready to take the oath of office, this morning signs the president-elect is at odds with his own nominees. Trump's pick to lead the Department of Defense, General James Mattis, taking a tougher stance on Russia than his potential boss.
I'm all for engagement, but we also have to recognize reality and what Russia is up to.
But just days ago, Trump welcomed a friendlier relationship with Russia.
If Putin likes Donald Trump, guess what, folks? That's called an asset, not a liability. Now, I don't know that I'm going to get along with Vladimir Putin. I hope I do.
And while Trump continues to waffle on the intelligence community's conclusion about the DNC hacking,
as far as hacking, I think it was Russia. You know what? Could have been others also.
The man billed to be the next CIA director, Mike Pompeo, isn't hesitating.
It's pretty clear about what took place here, about Russian involvement in efforts to hack information and to have an impact on American democracy.
And on Trump's controversial comments on torture back on the campaign trail.
They said, what do you think about waterboarding? I said, I like it a lot, and I don't think it's tough enough.
Pompeo standing his ground.
If you were ordered by the president to restart the CIA's use of enhanced interrogation techniques, would you comply?
Senator, absolutely not.
Now, Republicans I've talked with are welcoming this tougher talk, but they stress it all comes down to Trump. And this morning, the big question, how much will a President Trump follow his own cabinet's advice? Robin?
Yes, that remains to be seen. And Mary, what about that bizarre moment on C-SPAN yesterday?
Yeah, this was a bit of a strange one. Representative Maxine Waters was there on the floor when all of a sudden the C-SPAN feed switched to Russian television. It stayed that way for about 10 minutes. Now, C-SPAN says this was likely a routing issue, but the timing of all of this certainly raising plenty of eyebrows up here.
Sure
Robin.
is. All right, Mary, thank you.
Yeah, but they're saying they don't believe they were hacked at all. Let's get more on these disagreements between Trump and his cabinet from Jon Karl right now. We're hearing from the president-elect on this morning. John, he's got a new tweet out. His first one this morning, a little before 6 a.m. All of my cabinet nominees are looking good and doing a great job. I want them to be themselves and express their own thoughts, not mine. But this is pretty remarkable. Not only the issues that Mary talked about there, but you have his Secretary of State taking issue with the positions on climate change. He's got a Homeland Security Secretary nominee taking issue with the positions on the wall. There are differences across the board, and the question is, will this give the president-elect kind of a bridge back to different kinds of positions?
On issue after issue, George, his nominees have been pressed on Trump's most controversial issues during the campaign, most controversial statements. Another one with General Mattis is the Iran deal, which Trump repeatedly blasted during the campaign and said that he would undo as president. Mattis said that when America